Hey, everybody, it's Shannon Smith, the Limitless Luminary. And today I want to talk about the messaging part of what we do here and ultimately the checklist that you are wanting, the neuroscience and psychology infused sales checklist. And I am pulling this up right meow. Okay, I would like for this to go away. Okay, heard me. Great. So we'll just put this here. Okay. So this is again the neuroscience and psychological trigger sales checklist. And it is organized by phase. And then at the bottom, we have some scenarios for you. So yeah, I find it to be something that almost everyone can really pull something from. So check it out. So, in particular, today we're going to be talking about messaging. And so that is kind of at the interest and initial contact because you're going to have to eventually reach out to the person. Either it's a cold email or maybe it's a message on LinkedIn, but some fashion words are happening. So let's just dive in here. And I think before I actually go deep, I'm going to talk a little bit about why it's important to activate the limbic system when you're messaging. So in particular, let's see if I can make this bigger. Okay. These are really the 5 reasons why it's important. So let's just talk about one by one. Increased emotional connection. Um, we have various parts of our brain regions activated when the right visual storytelling cues are activated, the stories, the emotions. It just helps us because, at the end of the day, we're human and we like to be connected to things. Okay. So we want that emotional connection to our buyer. Um, Enhanced memory retention, things that evoke these kind of emotions, they resonate more in our memory. So if we're wanting to leave our buyer with some information to think about, then if we enhance the emotional connection, they are more likely to remember that in their very busy world and life. Okay. Motivation to act. If the right points are touched, then, in particular, the call to action. Okay. If that right call to action is there and it's like the logical next step, then there can be an increased motivation to act. You can also influence decision making, activating limbic system. And so, if you have a buyer who's kind of right on the cusp of making a decision and you reach out to them with the right message, you can push them to act. And then finally, reduced resistance. I've talked about reducing stochasticity. Maybe I need more coffee today. It is Sunday morning. Yesterday was a full day, by the way, different story. But stochasticity, we want to reduce decision stochasticity. We do that by following up and making it very easy for the buyer to work with us and buy. And we also want to reduce the neural noise because the more effort and energy that the potential buyer is going to have to spend figuring out what your offer is or how it might help them or what they're going to get, the less likely it is that they're going to buy your service or product. Okay. So let's go back. And just FYI, I go deep into how to do that in particular in my event. Here's a sneak peek. And then we go through actual scenarios and exercises to show you what a good message looks like, and how you can craft your own message that activates the limbic system. So, if you want a seat at my next event, shoot me a DM. All right. Now, let's go back to this checklist and just walk through. So, interest and initial contact, we're in this phase right here. Storytelling, we just talked about this. And so, a way you can do that is customer success stories. You can also talk about your own journey. Um, Something that I've learned over time is that I try to think about where I was maybe like 6 months ago or a year ago, an earlier version of myself. And that helps me to get to the pain points and to what the particular struggles are of my clients. So the more you guys can do that and connect in that fashion, the better it's going to be. Just remember where you were as an earlier version of yourself. Okay? And so we active limbic system, reward system, get them to see the rewards, future pacing, which we'll talk about in a second. And so here's a scenario where you want the amygdala engaged, because that is the limbic system. It's a part of the limbic system. Okay. Excuse me 1 second. Allergies are coming so fast. Okay. Initial interest and contact, foot in the door, making small requests and then slowly building up over time. This is where you don't want to overwhelm your potential buyer with all of the requests or conditions or what have you. So you get patient here, which is something that I struggle with. Get real patient and just make small requests and build those up over time. And just another side note, I am giving you the data here. So it's up to you to determine what's going to fit with you and your brand in an authentic manner. Okay. So here's the data. Take what you want. Take the chicken and leave the bone, as they say. Pain points. This is such a big one. You have to actively listen to really hear what those pain points are of your customer. This is the ACC. Oh, back in making small requests, you can conversely activate the amygdala in a bad way, creating some anxiety, and then they're going to be like trying to get away from you. So when you make the smaller requests, it keeps that amygdala calmer. Okay. Active listening, the ACC, future pacing. So this is what they're going to get if they work with you. What does that future look like? Be really clear and specific about what you're going to do for them. And that will ultimately create that will activate the reward system. And that could be in the nucleus accumbens. It could be in a variety of spots. So mainly the nucleus accumbens. But this is interesting, which I missed here. Hippocampus. All right. So I think I need to update that one. So future pacing is the dopaminergic reward system. Novelty, introducing new things. We like novelty. That's why every now and again the grocery store moves things around and creates new displays. We like to see new things. This is part of the hippocampus, is the memory and prefrontal cortex making decisions. And then lastly, personalization. And so this is huge in messaging. People don't want to think that they're just another number. And so you have to take time and craft the right personalized message. Make sure you use their name, for instance. Find something about them or their profile that calls out to you. Make sure you mention it. What are their particular problems that they're likely dealing with? The more personalized you can make something, the better. Okay. And so prefrontal cortex again here, this is also, I mean, I'll just say, like, the brain is super complex. And with each one of these, there's anywhere from, I don't know, I'd say 5 to 10 different brain regions that are activated in either a full or partial way. And so to get like inclusive, 100% inclusive, This would be an exhaustive list, and I'm kind of guessing you guys don't necessarily want a neuroscience lesson. You're more just wanting to see the picture. So just know that as you're going through this checklist. But personalization is also, let me pull it up just because I want to make sure I'm correct here. Yeah, the PFC. Yeah. So that's the main ventromedial prefrontal cortex, the main brain region that's connected with it. There are others, of course, because the brain is not simple ever. It's just not. It's not the way we're wired. Okay. So that is a deep dive into my neuroscience and psychological trigger checklist. If you have questions, please reach out to me. If you want a seat at an upcoming event to dive deep into the limbic system messaging and how you can craft your own messages, let me know and we'll talk. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you on the flip flop.